would love to have a steady supply of tomatoes, cucumbers, and other vegetables my family eats all year around. But unfortunately, I live in Chicago and that's not possible if you just rely on the outside backyard gardening. That's why I decided to look into the hydroponic method of growing vegetables, which is indoor. Of course, you can have hydroponic systems outside as well, but I don't think I'm going to try that because I love growing in ground and in raised beds and in pots, basically using soil. But indoors, if I can grow without soil, that means less mess. That's a good thing to me. So these two handy dandy machines, I received them as a gift for Christmas. So it has been a little bit less than 3 months of active growing in these hydroponic systems, and I've tried all kinds of different things. Right now I have 2 cucumbers over here, 2 basils in the back, I have some mustards over there, 2 mustards, 3 tomatoes on the left and 3 tomatoes on the right. And as you can see, my tomatoes are finally fruiting. Just a few weeks ago, I was sharing with you my tomato jungle in here, and they were blooming at that time, and I was showing you how I pollinate them. Basically just shaking the plant, tickling the blooms, because tomatoes are pollinated by wind in nature, and since there is no wind in my house, thanks God, I had to pollinate these tomatoes by hand, and as you can see, it worked. I'm very happy to see these nice fruit forming, and I hope they will mature or actually ripen soon, because I can't wait to taste them and see if they taste just as good as the outdoor grown tomatoes. So in this machine I had a ton of greens growing earlier. I had bok choy, I had lettuce, I had Swiss chard, spinach, and other greens. And as you can see here right now on the screen, I'll put a picture, I was harvesting those greens, and right now there's tomatoes on its place. There is in the back more tomatoes, as you can see. So these tomatoes, I started them not in this machine. I started them separately in these rock wool things, and then when I was done with harvesting all the greens that were growing in here, I replaced those spots with the tomatoes. And that's how you make your hydroponic growing more efficient. You're not wasting space by planning ahead of the time. So I knew that eventually those greens will be done, I'll harvest them, and I didn't want to just have the machine sitting there with tiny little tomatoes for a long time. So I had the tomatoes growing separately for about a month until they got to a good size that I transplanted them in here. So you can definitely transplant hydroponic seedlings just as the soil ones. Same with these cucumbers. They were not here. I had them growing separately. And now, once I got the basil out, I put these cucumbers in here. Same with this another machine, which is taller. As you can see, the light is higher. I have a combination of some basil here, and this one is so cute. Just look at it. This is called Window Box Mini, which is very tiny. Those leaves, just look at them, how cute they are compared to the regular basil. But they are sharp and mighty. Small but mighty, they say, right? So I like this bushy nature of this basil. It bushes out really nice, and it has tiny but a ton of these tiny leaves. It's light in color. It's light green compared to the spinach growing next to it, but I love it. I have more mustard growing over here. It's a mustard spinach. I think it's called Savannah, and there is another one in the back over there, tangled in between the tomatoes. But it's growing good. I keep picking the leaves, the outer leaves, and from the middle, more and more leaves are growing. Same with this spinach. I forgot the name of this variety of the spinach, but it's just so good. I love it. The leaves are huge. I mean, this one is not that big, but I'll put a picture on the screen that when I harvested really large leaves, they were like as big as the palm of my hand. So you just need a few leaves and you have a salad for the family. Now in the back of these greens, I also have tomatoes, which started to form fruit, as you can see. These tomatoes are much taller than the other ones, and that's why I placed them in this one, because the light extends. So what I like about these machines is that when the seedlings are tiny, you can lower the light, and then when they get bigger, you can raise it up accordingly so they get enough light. So all in all, I'm very happy with my hydroponic journey. I recommend to all of you, if you haven't tried it yet, give it a try. Of course, now the summer is coming, so everyone is going to be involved in the outdoor gardening, but coming winter, you will regret that you didn't start your hydroponic garden. So start thinking about it now.